They fight 24/7, not seeing their families, not seeing their kids, not seeing their friends. We will fight until we're gonna get victory, 100%. I worked in the field, running through the trenches with them at night, climbing through the woodblock, and we have to say goodbye. And I remember like first 3 or 4 rotations, it took me like a day or two to get over it. I work with Ukrainian soldiers. I see them, I spoke with them, I got to know them. There is no way we will ever give up. Hello, my name is Aliia and I'm 33 years old, and before I came to the UK I lived in Ukraine in Vinica. So clearly it's been 1,000 days since Putin invaded Ukraine, and it goes without saying that it's changed lives of Ukrainian people dramatically. All of us, not all of us, but a lot of us, we were forced to leave Ukraine and find a safer place for ourselves, for our children, for our families. And I totally understand that a lot of people from West, and even in Ukraine, they are getting tired of reading about it, hearing about it, seeing it. However, we all have to remember that Ukraine is on the border between Russia and Europe. And those guys who are fighting on the front line, they don't know the word tired. They fight 24/7, not seeing their families, not seeing their kids, not seeing their friends, not having a proper food, not having a proper rest. They can't say, oh, you know what, I'm tired from war. I'm probably gonna quit. So if they don't say that, how we can say that? And if we're gonna give up, which will never obviously happen, what's gonna happen to Europe? Because I don't think he's gonna stop. Putin. So the message to the people in the western part, I would say, we need to stay together. We need to keep on helping each other. And we need to fight against this huge, horrible enemy. Because if that's not going to happen, the huger damages will occur. When the invasion happened back in 2022, I was in Ukraine, in my city, in my apartments, and I got a call from my mom in the morning saying, Aliia, the war has started. And I remember that I was sitting at the edge of my bed, and it felt like I was sitting outside because I didn't feel secure anymore. When the war has started, we all had very mixed feelings, because at the beginning it was really hard to believe that this kind of horrible thing is happening in the 21st century in a European country. It was really terrifying when I went outside and I saw queues of cars who were trying to get petrol at the gas stations. And then I started to check news, and then you see all those breaking news about Russia is moving into Ukraine and destroying our territories. So it was shocking. So you are in the face of, no, it's not happening. No, it can't happen. But at the same time, it is happening, and you have to process it. So it was genuinely horrible. So obviously, when the war started, my parents were talking about, you should leave, because we didn't know what's going to happen. We didn't know if they will reach to our city or not. And I didn't want to leave. I said to my parents, I'm not going to leave. I can't leave you here on your own. In case something happens, it will terrify me, because my mom and my dad is the only family I have. But then I made a decision that I can go to Poland for a couple of months. It's on the border with Ukraine. It's not that far. In case something will happen, I'll be quick to come back home. I've arranged a travel, which was very, very difficult to do because everyone was leaving Ukraine. And then my best friend told me about the opportunity was Operation Interflex here in the United Kingdom. And I still was a little bit hesitant because it's a bit far. But then I was like, yeah, it's for a good purpose. I've done this job back in Ukraine. I can help. I can do something useful. So that's why I've made a decision to come to the United Kingdom and work for Operation Interflex as a military linguist. So Operation Interflex is an operation where international partners, different armies from different countries, training Ukrainian trainees here in the United Kingdom. And alongside with them, with Ukrainian trainees, instructors from different countries, there is a big team of linguists who facilitate this work. So day-to-day life of a linguist is very different from day-to-day, to be honest. Currently, I'm holding a position of a head linguist, so I'm in charge of 165 linguists. However, before, I worked for a year as a regular linguist, and I worked in the field, running through the trenches with them at night, climbing through the woodblock, sitting in ambush with them, having ration with them, which was absolutely amazing. The downside of it is I know where they were going back. Yeah, that's pretty much the life of a linguist. And obviously you translate all day long, you work into languages. And at the end of the day, to be honest, sometimes my mom called me and I'm like, Mom, I can't even talk anymore, honestly, because it's been 12 hours I was talking in English and Ukrainian. Absolutely amazing job, the best thing that ever happened to me, unfortunately, under not very pleasant conditions. Obviously, we have a lot of young soldiers who are arriving to United Kingdom to train, and it's not only male. Recently, we start to receive a lot of females as well, who are preparing to go to the front line. What amazes me is I see them laughing, I see them joking around, I see them, in a way, sometimes like having fun during the training. And I look at them sometimes when I take a pause and I look at them and I see them like genuinely laughing and having like a fun conversation. And I'm like, you're gonna go back to war, you're gonna go back to hell. It's incredible, like the spirit of Ukrainian people, it's genuinely incredible. But at the same time, it's really hard for us because I remember you work with them for 5 weeks, shoulder to shoulder. You eat with them. We sleep in the woodblock sometimes during the night training. You wake up in the morning and the first people you see will be them already translating something for them. So you get really close. And at some point they start to tell you stories about their families, their kids, their girlfriends, boyfriends. And I remember one guy, he was looking at his daughter's picture and he was like, oh, all I wish is just to come back to my baby. And it's really, really heartbreaking because we have a good time training. We have very intense and efficient training that Op Interflex provides. But at the same time, I never forget those goodbyes when they when they start to approach coaches and they start to load on the coaches. And we have to say goodbye. And I remember like first 3 or 4 rotations, it took me like a day or two to get over it because we were like all in tears. And the funny thing is, or maybe not the funny thing, but the weird thing about that is they were telling us, oh, don't cry, it's going to be all right. So they were trying to comfort us. They were going to war. They might not see their families anymore. They might not go back to their homes anymore. But they were telling us, oh, it's going to be fine, don't worry. We'll get the victory. It's incredible. The spirit, the fighting spirit is incredible. The thing that upsets me the most about Russian invasion, about Putin's invasion into Ukraine is him attacking kids and doing it in a very sneaky and coward way. Because I've heard a lot of stories from soldiers that they mine territories on distance and they spread like small mines that looks like toy, and then the kid can pick it up and then it explodes in kids' hands and it damages that little face and then a kid get amputations at the age of 10 years old, even younger. Really, that's what they call war. That's what really upsets me the most. If I could give a message to Putin, first of all, I don't want to talk to him. And if a person is doing something like this and calling it special operation to free our country from terrorism or something, what kind of message you can get to give to that person? He will never, ever understand and hear anything. If I'm gonna send a message like, oh, leave our land, or take your troops away from Ukraine, stop doing what you're doing, the whole world is against you, the whole world is supporting us, even with Operation Interflex. There are more than 10 nations training Ukrainian trainees, which is incredible. And he's still doing what he's doing. There are so many countries who've applied sanctions, and he's still doing what he's doing. Is there any message that you can formulate will ever reach him if the person decided to do that horrendous thing that he's done? And he is saying that it's fine, like everything is okay. He's breaking all the rules, he's breaking all the laws. He has no principles at all. As I said, if you're a warrior, fight against a warrior. But he is basically fighting against civilians as well. Just in the middle of the day, a civilian building can get destroyed. What kind of message you can send to that person if he gives his yes for those actions? Most of the linguists who work on Operation Interflex, I would say 90% they came from Ukraine directly. And it is really the case that a lot of them, they feel that survival's guilt because we're here in a safe place and a lot of our families and friends, they are back in Ukraine, living in a time of war. They're seeing it all with their own eyes. And you do have the feeling that, I survived, but my friends and family is over there. And even though you're in a safe place, you don't feel comfortable. That's crazy, but I remember myself as well. I was in Poland and then I went to the United Kingdom. And I remember like first half a year, I didn't want to travel anywhere. I didn't want to experience any comfortable things. I remember I came to a military camp and I saw my small bed and a small wardrobe next to the bed, and that was everything I had in the room, together with another 10 people. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's good. That's what I deserve right now. I do not deserve any comfort or any luxurious things because my people suffer. So that's what you go through. You can't really enjoy your life fully being in a safe place while your family and friends in Ukraine. And it's, even till now, sometimes I'm like, I would like to travel somewhere, but then maybe not. So we all a little bit hesitant with fully enjoying our life because it feels wrong. While your people suffer, it feels wrong to enjoy your life. I think that Ukrainian people are extreme patriots, and that's what makes them so strong and resilient to the situation that we have in our country. The fighting spirit, the sense of being together as a oneer and fight against our enemy, that strong will to protect our land, our families, our kids. I work with Ukrainian soldiers. I see them, I spoke with them, I got to know them. There is no way we will ever give up. I hope that in the future, in the nearest future, the war will be over. And I hope it more for the soldiers who are fighting on the front line. because we all fight. We all do have our fights. Like, we are fighting as linguists, so we are helping Ukrainian trainees to get the knowledge they need to get. There are a lot of volunteers who fundraise a lot of money to buy a lot of equipment for them. But people who are on the like those soldiers who are on the front line, sleeping in trenches, hardly eating, who never know if they will ever see their kids and families or not. I really hope first for them to finish, for the war to finish, was us having a victory. And then I hope for my family and friends and for the whole people of Ukraine to get our country back without Russians on it, and rebuilding our country and making it even better, and just having a nice, happy and peaceful life where we can enjoy it, where we can go to concerts, have a nice coffee in a cafe without air alerts, without hiding in the bunkers, and just, go back to a regular life that a lot of people right now taking for granted, but for us it's a privilege right now. I'm so concentrated on work right now, and that's pretty much all my life. I so got used to give more in these years that I don't really think about myself that much. But I guess I just hope for myself to have my family and friends being safe. I think, that's probably the most important thing right now, because I am honestly privileged. I do have a job I love, where I can help, and I can do something useful for them, and I'm in a safe place. What else can I wish for now? I don't think Ukrainian people will ever give up. We'll never give up, ever. We will fight until we're gonna get victory, 100%.